Welcome to the Spooky Dooky Podcast, the only horror podcast for you social outcasts. Hosted by us, I'm Derek.
I'm Mike.
And we've just seen the 2019 Child's Play reboot.
Or reimagining, whatever way you look at it.
Yes. If you listened to the show before, you know that Mike was highly anticipating this movie, and I pretty much shitted on this movie.
Yeah, you were dreading it, and I was looking forward to it, and you're like, stop getting your hopes up. Just like posting on it on our Twitter about like all the little things. First off, before we get into the movie, I have to applaud them because their marketing was perfect. Like, it was like, I thought it was going to be overly marketed like Ma, but I guess Ma didn't get creative. They just shoved their trailer everywhere. Right. With this, ever since I've been following this movie since 2008, and it wasn't supposed to be a reimagining at first. It was supposed to be a reboot, and it kept just falling through the cracks. There was fake posters out there that Derek says he remembers too, and eventually last year, once it took off, they finally got the green light at MGM, which owns the original Child's Play, to just do it. And they asked the original people like Don Mancini and Brad Dourif and everyone to be a part of it. And they're like, no, we still have our franchise going on, which split the fan base. And because there was copyright issues with, Mancini's character, they had to change it up a lot, making him AI. But with the marketing, like I was saying, ever since, I think the first little tidbit they put out about it was that half face of his, which everyone was freaking out how bad it looked. And then after that, there was they uploaded a website called Castlin, which is basically their Amazon or Apple. Right. And you could play around and do some things on there with the My Buddy doll. And they had some Christmas adverts of it, cartoon. This is all before they really showed his face. They're just doing cartoon adverts. You could have wallpapers and whatnot. And then around, I think, February, they finally released the trailer, which they did not show Chucky in it at all, just like a silhouette. And then they just kept marketing the shit out of it. It's like every other day there was something cool to get excited over this movie. So I was following the behind the scenes. I was following everything that could come out about this through all YouTubers and everything I could find. And so I was hearing about there was sketches of some scenes I seen, like some drawings that leaked. I saw some behind the scenes of the factory and stuff and how they all looked like shit, the dolls, which we'll get into. And they also did because it's coming out on the same day as Toy Story, they had the little posters of Chucky, like a parody of him killing the main characters of Toy Story, which the first three were great. Then it kind of got overkill and stupid, and that was Woody, Buzz, and Slinky. And then they did one with Mr. Potato Head, Ham, and Rex. And I kind of got sick of it, but I appreciate what they were doing because a lot of people were writing this movie off and did not want to see it. People were shitting on it publicly so hard. They wanted it to be a serial killer. They didn't want the whole AI thing to be a part of it. They're like, what's the point? The doll looks stupid. Right. And they just kept trying to push it, just hopefully win people over. They had this guy, which I can't remember his name. He's a famous claymation artist, do a couple of these weird minute-long creepy things where Chucky comes out of the box and kills a bunch of toys. One was a parody of Woody. They had a VR game that I played, but I didn't have the VR headset. It was just an app. It was cool. I'm trying to think what else. They had a lot. So it kept me excited, even though I did, as much as you think I was really going to think this movie was good. No, I actually didn't. I just really, the franchise has gone so south with the last, I don't like Bride and Seed. Some people like Bride, some people like Seed. And there's a couple of the video on demand ones after that, Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky. They're okay. So I haven't really been liking what Mancini's been doing with the franchise. So I was just open-minded. And also I put so much of my eggs into this basket, looking into it for years and years and years, waiting it to be greenlit. Gets greenlit last year, and they make a script out of thin air and Russian production, which scared the shit out of me. It was done paper to finished product without reshoots in 9 months, which is scary. And I guess it was like a cash grab thing because the Orion, which makes low budget horror movies. They're like, well, why the fuck not? And that's my little opening rant to start this video because I am a huge Child's Play fan, and I just had to say all of that. But we can get into it.
Okay, so, like I said, I thought this movie was going to be super bad. So I went in with very, very, very low expectations. 10 minutes into the movie, I'm just like, I think I'm going to love this movie.
Wow, that's not even how I felt. Because when they first showed Chucky in that commercial, the whole theater was audibly laughing. He looked so... Listen, the one thing that I can't get past in this movie is the way he looked. I get it, he's supposed to be robotic, but it just didn't seem like a thing that a child would want to buy. Sneezed, okay.
Kids buy a lot of stupid things.
Yeah, but like you would want that watching you. It's creepy. Like the original,
is creepy. A lot of toys are creepy.
A lot of
Cabbage Patch dolls are creepy.
Yeah, everything that has the like a person face and isn't real, the uncanny valley thing is creepy. But like the original Chucky, the original Good Guy Gal was kind of cute. You thought this was cute. Like eventually through the movie, I thought it was cute through his personality, but he was still heinous.
Right. Oh my God. I love his personality. I mean, up to a certain point. So the movie starts off at a Vietnamese sweatshop. The guy who created that specific or programmed that specific buddy doll, he was sick of his job. Like he was homeless, and I guess the owner of that sweatshop picked him up off the streets and gave him that job. And the Vietnamese owner threatened to throw him back into the streets if he keep daydreaming on a job. And so that just made the guy. Also, he slapped him, which is crazy. And I guess that caused the programmer of the buddy doll to snap, and he turned off like all the safe modes in the programming of that specific buddy doll. It's kind of weird because like the programming was in English, but they were speaking Vietnamese, but whatever. And after he programmed the buddy doll to be like rogue, he killed himself. He jumped out the building and landed on a car. Because
apparently in Vietnam, the sweatshops are basically your slaves there, like that guy was. And They have nets at the bottom of the buildings because people try to jump so often.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Am I being racist? Did they say that was in Vietnam? Or?
No, they said it.
Oh, okay.
And it was a very rushed origin with that.
I like it sweet, simple, to the point. It's like, whatever. They know what we're here for. Yeah. Killer doll. But we didn't get that until like much later into the movie, which is something I really liked. Yeah. So they had the Caslin commercial, and in the commercial they're explaining the buddy doll and how it works and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And as he explaining it, like how it works, that's when I was like, oh my God, I'm going to love this movie, because he's talking about how the buddy doll is basically like an Amazon Echo. Like it has voice command, and it controls like pretty much all your electronic devices in the house. So like automatically in my head is clicking. It's like, oh,
you didn't know that going into it?
I didn't know anything about this movie.
Wow. Okay, because I've been watching it like a hawk, so I know everything. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so as he was playing all this, I'm just thinking in my head all the ways Chucky's just gonna be killing people, like controlling stuff, and I'm just like, this is gonna be really good kills, and I'm very excited for it.
It flashes to Andy and Karen Barkley in their apartment. She's like, you unpack your stuff. He's like, yeah, eventually. She's like, you're on your phone too much. You're taking it away. He's like, no. And then he's like, yo, you promised you're going to go make new friends. And he's like, they could be murderers. And she's like, well, if you try, I'll give you back your phone. He said, fine. And then he just sat like in the hallway like he usually does.
Right.
It's his birthday approaching. Okay. And he wants a new phone because it's cracked and it's a piece of shit apparently. Right. And she's like, I've been working duffels to try to get you a new hearing aid. This one's fine. And instead, apparently he's low-key obsessed with that Buddy doll, which...
Well, not low-key. I mean, he showed her, or she took his phone and she went through his phone and saw that he was watching a video of a Buddy doll humping a table or something.
Yeah.
And I guess she assumed that he wanted a Buddy doll, but once she got it, he said it's for kids.
Well, because he's like 13 now, and last year it was 12 when it came out. And surprisingly, the age worked here. I didn't think it was going to. And especially with Aubrey Plaza playing a young mom, which she was what?
I just love Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, she's hot. Everyone keeps, all the comments are that. Because she was basically like a horny mom.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
And their dynamic worked. And she's like, yeah, I got knocked up at 16. I had a productive sweet 16. So she's supposed to be really young, and it kind of makes sense. They had like a brother-sister kind of dynamic because they're so young. And she works at Zedmart, which is, I guess, some sort of Kmart or something. And someone returns the Buddy doll, and she's not really listening. She's spacing out. And she said, the lady's like, yeah, it had red eyes. It was weird. I don't think I want it anymore, especially because like the new one comes out next week.
Right.
And she got her money back, and then she goes to the manager of the store. She's like, hey, it's my kid's birthday next week. Can I have this? She's like, you have a kid? He's like, yeah. And that's when she said the Sweet 16 comment. She's like, nah, I can't let you do that. And he's like, come on, it'll be our little secret, like how you banged whoever, like another employee in the back room like a month ago. And he's like, woohoo, because he has a wife. And he wound up giving it to her.
And she takes it home.
Yeah, she takes it home, obviously. And Andy gets mad at her because he comes home and her boyfriend is there, and he's like a dick, and he's like every time he's around, Andy can't be in the same room with him because Andy's father, they allude to, left them, and the other one, he was dead. So that was interesting. And like every time he goes into a room, like him and the mom are making out, or he's like buckling his pants back up.
Right,
I was getting so mad. I was like, they did such a good job of getting to hate that character. Like, what a fucking asshole. And then in the later scenes, you hate him even more. So he goes to play in the hall, and Detective Mike Norris, played by
Brian Tyree Henry.
Yes, who's in everything, and he did a great job. He basically visits his mom once a week in their apartment complex for dinner, and he's like, hey, I see you out here all the time. What are you, some sort of hallway hobo? And he's like, what? Because he's trying to be funny.
Right.
And then he's like, yo, I could really use some backup if you want some dinner. My mom, and he alludes to like she drinks and does like cross eyes. And he's like, no, thank you. And then Aubrey Plaza comes out, and she's like, what are you doing in the hall? I'm like, who are you? After he tries to crack a couple of jokes of her flirting. And he's like, well, that was my attempted joke. See you later, Andy. See you later, Andy's mom. He's like, by the way, all moms are scary. He walks away, and then she's like, come on, Andy, I got something for you. And he's like, is Shane still there? He's like, no, he left. And she's like, yeah, I got you a present. It's not your birthday, but I can tell you're mad at me. And he opens it, and it's the Buddy doll, and he's kind of like, this ain't a phone. And she's like, yeah, I got it for you as a goof. I know you're a little too old for it, but I know you're also like obsessed with it. She's like, yeah, but that was like last year. And she's like, come on, give it a try. And it starts malfunctioning, like not working, not syncing to the cloud. Which I thought was a smart thing, but at the same time annoying when he tries to name it. He tries to name it Han Solo.
Right.
Because
it's a nod to Star Wars and
Mark Hamill was Luke Skywalker.
Right.
And then he's like, did you say Chucky? My name's Chucky. This time, I get it. He's glitching. But like, could have gave it a little better. I wish the dad was named Chucky or something. I just wish that didn't happen. But whatever. I think it's supposed to be funny. A lot of this is supposed to be funny. This movie very much seems like it's R, which I get because it's gore and the cursing, but this felt like Gremlins.
Yeah, I was explaining to the person I was in movies with how like the whole first half of the movie felt like I don't want to say Goosebumps. I don't know, like an edgier Goosebumps episode.
It was lighthearted.
Yeah.
It was supposed to, because you're supposed to sympathize for all the characters, which they did a really good job.
Especially Chucky. It was weird. I did, like, the whole time thinking, wow, Chucky's a really nice guy.
Yeah. Because he's not supposed to be evil. Even taking that filter off, he's not supposed to be evil. He's just glitchy. I don't know what that guy's end game was, the factory worker, but he learned how to be evil through what he saw. Because he's interpreting it as that's what they want. Because it's like, you're AI, you're smart, but also you don't have some awareness. So you're like confused, which I thought was really smart. And then after that, he hooks up Chucky finally. They're like, oh, it doesn't work. It's like, I love it. It's a funny joke. And then he takes it to his room to show it around. It's like, this is my cat, Mickey Rourke, which is an actor, which is probably a nod to something to do with Mark Hamill again. There's a lot of pop culture references all over this. How many do you think you noticed?
I mean, I don't know. I probably tuned out most of them because they were cringy.
The one, Andy's always wearing the red hoodie, and then Chucky's finger lights up. It's E.T.
Yeah.
That's just obvious.
Right.
So that's the one I'll get into for now. But I'll get into there's a lot. There's so much Easter eggs here. And then he goes to sleep. It's still in the comedy part of the movie, and Chucky's just watching him sleep.
Before he goes to sleep, he was like, do you want me to sing you a buddy song before you go to sleep?
Low key, all the comments I've been seeing is like, yo, that buddy song stuck in my head.
It was stuck in my head afterwards, but
good for them. They didn't give Chucky that much dialogue, but as you could see, because he sung that song, Mark Hamill, he could have done a lot with that, with his voice and range and whatever. But
honestly, so I hated the design of Chucky in this movie at first, but these scenes where he's supposed to be a good guy or whatever, innocent or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the poor design made him look super creepy and disturbing. So it clashed with the whole aspect of him being innocent or whatever. So it's just the whole entire time just made me feel very, very uneasy and untrusting of Chucky's character in the beginning. And then after a while, I got used to it. And by the time I got used to it, and he ended up becoming what he is now.
A lot of people have watched a lot of reviews of it, and they're like, yo, I hated this design, but then it's so ugly. But then his personality makes you like it because it's like an ugly puppy.
Right, yeah. It's like a pug. After
he sings the buddy song, he, Andy's trying to sleep, and then, just Chucky has no,
boundaries.
Yeah, he's just watching him. He's like, it's time to sleep. He just keeps singing him this fucking song.
Oh my God.
And then the next day, Andy is going to school and Chucky keeps trying to help him. And he's like, you forgot your science book. He's like, Chucky, for the last time, this is not a science book. He just keeps handing him random objects. He's still not correct. He doesn't know what's what. He's, you feel for Chucky. He's really trying to help him be Andy's best friend.
Oh man, that's another reason I like this movie, because Chucky's attached to Andy in a different way that the original Chucky was attached to Andy. I just like this whole new spin on it. It's great.
He's not vindictive. He's confused.
Right.
He's not sinister. That's what I think the original Chucky fans are going to have a problem with, because he is straight up evil, the original one. This is literally I feel like a child that doesn't know anything better yet, and it's just trying to make its parents proud and doing everything wrong.
Right. Also, that whole scene because there was a whole montage thing going on before Chucky was giving Andy the books, or was supposed to be books, and Chucky's like mimicking everything Andy does. So Andy's like brushing his teeth, and you see Chucky pretend to have a toothbrush in his hand, brushing his teeth, and then it cuts to Andy making a sandwich, very aggressively for some reason.
Yeah,
I guess it's a peanut butter and jelly, and when he cuts it diagonally, instead of doing like a little slice, he like chops it diagonally, and then he stabs the knife and forces it like to be stuck into the cutting board. And you see Chucky in the background just like doing a stabbing motion, pretending he has a knife in his hand, and that was pretty funny to me.
What I liked before that, he looked back to see if anyone was watching, then did it.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, this movie is so good.
Wow, so shocked.
Yep.
So he's still in a good guy mode, and then he's Andy is sitting on the stairs playing with Chucky, and two kids walk by, Pug and Fallon, and they're walking. The Pug's walking his dog, and they notice that like the dog starts barking at Chucky, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then Chucky like cursed or something. He's like, "It's not supposed to do that." And they're like, "Yeah, he's different." It's like, "Whoa." Because they're 13, they think cursing is the coolest thing ever. They're just experiencing it. They're like, say dick cheese. And like, they think that's the funniest thing ever. And then it's like, well, what have you been doing with it? He's like, oh, I was able to scare my mom's boyfriend, but nah, stupid. He's like, no, we're doing this now. Just cuts it. Like their friendship, like, doesn't, it goes by too fast. That and like.
Yeah. I feel like this movie did a lot of things right, except the whole friend group thing.
Yep.
I feel like this movie could have done okay without all of those people in it.
Or if they gave more of an emotional connection to each other. It was just like a couple of days and like, yeah, this is our new friend Andy. Yeah. He has a really weird Chucky doll, which they get to show after they scare Shane, the dad or whatever, the stepdad or boyfriend, they go outside with the rest of the kids in the apartment, and all the kids are playing with Chucky, and they have like a knife and like a unicorn stuffed animal or something. And of course, the black kid is like,
this made me cry. Jesus Christ. He's teaching Chucky how to stab the goddamn unicorn, the stuffed unicorn. And he tells Chucky to yell, "This is for Tupac." And Chucky's like, "But I don't want to say that." No. And then the black guy's like, "No, scream, this is for Tupac." So stupid. So goddamn stupid.
Yeah. I did like the second time it came around, though.
I didn't at all. I thought the line was stupid regardless.
Oh, it's stupid, but the thing is, Chucky's taking things out of context.
Yeah, I guess. And I like how it's like giving him an excuse to use these terrible one-liners.
That's exactly what they were doing. It was smart because he's not going to be... he's not Charles Lee Ray, like the really witty jokester. He's just like a robot who's just kept hearing things that people say, like, maybe this is cool. So I get it. So they start, Pug, Fallon, and Andy start watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 in someone's apartment. And Chucky's like literally just staring at Andy the whole time. He's like, "Can we play yet?" And like Andy's not like weirded out by that.
Right.
And he's like, no, like we're busy. And then Chucky spins around. He starts watching how much joy and laughter they're getting out of the gore of the faces getting ripped up and everybody dying. So Chucky goes in the kitchen, gets a knife, and I forgot what was the thing they said that they heard on TV or we heard one of them.
Yeah, I can't remember it either.
It was probably like, "Take that, bitch," or something like that, or something.
Yeah, I think so, maybe.
So they spin around, and Chucky has a knife, and he starts charging towards Pug, and they had to tackle him. And Chucky's confused, like, "What? I thought this is what you wanted." Like, and then he winds up cutting Andy on accident, and then Andy gets upset about him and leaves him in his room. Which this is what's seen to me. He's hugging like a teddy bear, looking all sad in the dark, curled up. Yo, that played with my emotions, man. I felt so bad for Chucky.
Jesus Christ. This movie is so funny. It's so good. I can't believe they did this to Chucky, man.
And so I think I skipped a part where Chucky misinterprets the cat to be like something Andy wants to get rid of.
Oh. Well, when Chucky first became awakened or whatever, I don't know. When he first turned Chucky on, he was showing Chucky around, and he said, "What did he call his cat? Was it a dickhead?"
Yeah.
Yeah, he introduced his cat as a dickhead. I guess that's when at first he's a dickhead, or sometimes he can be a dickhead or whatever. And then so I guess later on, Chucky and Andy are playing some type of game.
It was a game he made of the characters in his book.
Right. And I think one of the pieces fell or whatever next to the cat, and Andy went to go grab it, and the cat scratched him. And that's Chucky's first time ever seeing blood. And when Andy starts bleeding, Chucky, he was like, "Ooh, what is that?" Well, he didn't say "ooh," but the way he said "what is that" made it seem like he was super intrigued with the blood and how it's dripping. And then Andy, you can tell he's hurt. So Chucky was like, "Oh, are you hurt?" And Andy was like, "Yeah, it's okay. He just scratched me." And while Andy goes into the bathroom to wash out the blood, all you hear is the cat screaming. And then Andy runs in there and he sees Chucky strangling the cat, choking him real bad. And Andy gets Chucky to stop. And he told Chucky that we can't let anybody know that this happened and all this stuff. And told him that he can't hurt anybody, regardless of if they hurt him or not.
Which then eventually gets misconstrued. But later on in the movie, going back to where I was explaining before, because I skipped that part, Andy gets mad at Chucky and kind of puts him in the closet. No, fuck. I'm trying to think of the timeline here.
Oh, he doesn't put him in the closet.
I'm trying to find the part where he kills the cat.
Okay. All right. So I can't remember what exactly happened to get to, okay. So
the mom, I think, said night, keep them separate.
Yeah, because that whole night, that time you were talking about when Chucky was holding a teddy bear or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess he was upset and he was trying to do good by Andy, maybe. I don't know what he was trying to do. So he, Shane, what's her name? Karen's boyfriend. He was in the bathroom taking a piss. And all of a sudden, Chucky was right there. He made a scary face, whatever. And Shane jumps and he pees on himself. It was fucking hilarious to me. Mm-hmm. And this is not the first time Chucky played this recording, but he played the recording again of Andy saying that Shane's an asshole. And Shane was pissed off and went into Andy's room and threw the doll at Andy and was like, "If you got something to say it to my face like a man." And he just basically pushing Andy around and all this stuff. And once Shane leaves, Karen, she was all like, "Okay, well, I understand he's mad, but that's my son. You can let him know. You can let me know, and I can talk to him." And he said, "Yeah." Shane said a dick response. He was all like, "That sounds like a you problem, not mine." And then it cuts to Karen running into Andy's room and taking Chucky and was like, "Okay, you're not allowed to be with Chucky anymore. You can be with him 1 hour." Or she was like, "You're with Chucky too much all the time. You can be with him for 1 hour each day." And then she locks him up in in this little cupboard thing, in the living room. It's like a cupboard with a glass door or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so she locks him in there. Andy wakes up in the middle of the night. He hears knocking at the glass door. It's obviously Chucky. And Andy just goes back to sleep. But when it's knocking, the room is lit up red because Chucky's eyes are red. And which means he's pissed off. And when Andy closes the door to go back to sleep, Chucky just starts banging real hard on the door. So then later on that next day, Andy goes to school and then he comes back home and he sees that the door is open and there's glass everywhere. And when he opens the door, or when he gets near the door, you can see Chucky's reflection in the door or whatever. And he looks to the left and he sees a puddle of blood. and it's the blood belonging to his cat. And he takes the cat, wraps it up, and throws it down the garbage disposal.
For some reason, he still wants to protect Chucky after he knows he's getting, rogue.
Because I feel like at this point, like, they were very close. It's like having a pet and your pet doing something wrong. And
he repeated back things that Andy said that made it seem like he wanted him gone. Same thing when he said, when he got confronted by the boyfriend, he's like, oh, I wish he would go away. And also, when he was choking the cat, he's like, yeah, you can't hurt anybody. And then the dad walks in, he's like, yo, the cat's freaking out. The hell's wrong? And then he's like, yeah, well, maybe you could hurt that guy, not knowing that Chucky was getting that bad.
Yeah.
And then when he was throwing a fit, when the dad, after he left, he's, God, I wish he would go away. Chucky's eyes light up and smirks. And then he goes after Shane.
Oh, but before he goes after Shane, oh my God, Andy was mad at Chucky for killing the cat, right? And he was crying or whatever. Bruh. Andy is in there trying to go to sleep. Chucky's in the corner of his room playing back the sound of him killing his cat.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, this is sick.
So he goes, Shane, you then find out after he says this is a you problem, goes home to his family, which he didn't know he had.
Right.
And he goes up to his kids. He's like, yay, yeah, I'm home from work. This is great. And he's like, has to go take down the Christmas lights. And he's like, what the hell do I do? Just like a grumpy asshole dad. He's on a ladder. And then he hears something. He's like, fucking raccoons. And then Chucky basically makes him fall down, and he blows out both his feet completely.
Oh my God, yeah, because he falls off the fucking ladder, and I'm thinking he's gonna fall and land on his back, like how they do in comedies or whatever. No, he lands on his feet, and his shin bones pop out from the side of his legs, and it was so gruesome. It was so.
They showed him falling on the trailer, and you thought that's that's really what's gonna do it to him, but they didn't show that, which is great. Great gore, great practical effects.
Right.
And Chucky then controls this. It's not a lawnmower. It's like a digging fixture or something for gardening, to burrow.
I thought it was a lawnmower.
Well, think about it. For some reason, this family has a watermelon patch.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And
that's so weird.
Yeah. And it's coming towards Shane, and Chucky mounts him on top of him. He's like, Andy's my best friend. No one hurts him. And he goes to stab, but before that happens, just the mower or whatever just shreds his head, the top of his head.
Yeah, and then Chucky pulls out the knife, and does he say this is for Tupac, or does he say the same thing he was going to say before he was going to stab Pug?
This is for Tupac. I think that was that one.
Okay, yeah. So he says this is for Tupac, and they cut away, but all you hear is the stabbing noises. So I'm thinking he's just stabbing him nonstop.
Yeah.
But you find out what he's actually doing. So when he kills Shane, my whole time thinking, I'm like, man, I wonder if Andy's going to be happy or sad about this, or scared. I wonder.
1 second. Back when he fell off the roof, his kids are wearing headphones, and you see him fall and he screams for help, and they can't hear. They look back like nothing's there, and they're like, whatever. That's a commentary on technology. I definitely think so. But go ahead.
But yeah, so I'm thinking, well, I wonder what Andy's going to feel about this. I mean, it's like a bittersweet type of thing. Oh, but boy, when Andy wakes up, he goes to the bathroom, and you can see Shane's face on Andy's dresser, but Andy doesn't see it. So he goes to the bathroom, and then he runs back and he sees it and he screams. Chucky carved off Shane's face and stuck it to a watermelon and placed it on Andy's desk.
And for good measure, placed the eyeballs and the teeth.
Yes. I don't understand how that worked, but he did it.
That was my favorite scene, because when I saw Andy walk past it, my head did the what turn?
Yeah. Oh my God. So instead of calling the police, Andy calls Pug and Fallon.
Yeah.
And they come over and he explains how Chucky killed his stepdaddy, and they talk Andy out of calling the police and tell Andy that he just needs to get rid of it. So Andy wraps it up in wrapping paper and he's going to go throw it in a trash compactor. But as soon as they leave Andy's room to leave out the apartment, his mother comes in and his mother asks, why aren't you in school? And he says, because I have diarrhea. And then she's like, what's that in your hand? And he's like, this is a gift for Doreen, which is the detective's mother. And he's giving her this gift because she's been helping him with his homework. And his mother was like, okay, well, we can go give her the gift together. And so they go down to Doreen's apartment, give her the gift. Andy tells Doreen not to open the gift until it's his birthday, which is next week. And she says okay, and yeah, he now he has a whole week to try to get into Doreen's apartment and throw away that head.
And they finagle away.
Oh my god, the scene was so sad.
Wait, what?
What they about to do to Chucky?
Oh, yeah, they basically decide that. I like how Fallon said earlier that when she said it was cursing, it's like, this is like how every robot apocalypse movie starts.
Right.
They hint a lot in other movies and stuff like that.
Also, when he found out that Chucky killed Shane, Andy immediately threw Chucky into his closet and locked him in there. So yeah, that's where Chucky's at right now, inside of Andy's closet.
And they decide they're gonna have to destroy Chucky. And what they do is like, he's like, can we play now? He's like, yeah, but you got to put down a knife, bud.
Yeah, because when he opened up the closet, Chucky's holding a knife. I don't know how he had that pocket knife, but yeah.
Walks him in the room, dark room. Pug jumps on him. Fallon jumps on him, holds him down. While Andy's supposed to take off the middle piece that gives him power, which is, I think, supposed to be some sort of like reference to like Iron Man.
I guess maybe because
it looks exactly the same. The way I watched the video, the way he gets stabbed in it eventually is kind of like how in Civil War, how Captain America was on top of Iron Man, stabs him with the shield. Could be a loose thing. Yeah, anyway. So he's like, Andy, what are you doing? No, you feel bad for Chucky when he's always like like wiggling around like, we're supposed to be friends. Like, no. And they somehow, because Chucky's too much, Andy's too much of a pussy to do it, so Fallon does it, and they kill Chucky and put him in the garbage disposal.
Yep.
But now they have to get the head, which this scene stressed me out. Oh my god.
So originally when the detective first met Andy, he asked Andy to come, told Andy that sometimes, like, whenever you get the chance, you can come over and join him for dinner because he doesn't want to be with his mother by himself. So Andy knocks on, I can't remember his name, the detective.
Detective Mike Norris?
Yeah. He knocks on Mike's door, or Doris's door. I mean, Doreen. What is wrong with me? He knocks on Doreen's door, and Mike answers it, and he was like, hey, Mike, does that invitation for dinner, is that still open? And Mike says no and closes the door right away. And then he opens it back up. He's like, no, I'm kidding. Come on. And he joins them for dinner, and they have a really good time. And Doreen is asking about this new feature for, I keep forgetting the name of the company. Caslin. She asked about this new Caslin feature where it's basically like Uber but with self-driving cars. And when I heard her ask about it, I'm just like, son of a bitch. But so Andy helps her set up an account with the whole Caslin driving service thing so that Mike won't have to take her to bingo anymore. But and then while they're talking, Andy looks up at, Doreen, she goes to the kitchen for some reason. And Mike's just talking to Andy about how the kids thinks that he's a bad guy or whatever. But Andy's not really paying attention to Mike because Andy's looking at the gift that he gave Doreen, was just a wrapped up head. He's just looking at it, and Mike notices it, and he asks his mother, did she go like thrift shopping or some shit? And she was like, no, it's a gift that Andy got me, and we can open it right now.
No, she said we're going to open it on his birthday.
Yeah, open his birthday. And
it just sits on the table.
Yeah.
Stressed me out. And Mike Norris, he's just tapping it.
Yeah.
When Doreen dropped it. Oh, man, that scene stressed me the fuck out.
Mike gets up for some reason. I forget why. And as he's getting up, Andy runs, grabs it, and throws it away into the dumpster. Okay, so that whole scene happened, right? But during that scene happening, the janitor goes into the trash can, and he sees Chucky in there, a buddy doll, and he is a scavenger. He's one of those people who find old electronics, fixes it, and sells it on eBay. Does this look like Jack Black to you?
Everyone keeps saying that in comments in the Reddit and everything. Which I don't understand about this, because everyone says they don't want the Buddy 1 doll anymore. So why is it going to have any value? Maybe it's just stupid.
I didn't get that either. But, so...
You also forgot he's a pervert.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. So he...
I thought he was going to be a child pervert. That swerved me.
Yeah. So he takes Chucky to his I guess home down below in the basement of the apartment building. And he has this weird setup where he can look into the cameras of everybody's homes. Like, I'm guessing he like hacks other people's electronic devices.
I just assumed like in the janitor's closet, there would be, not in the closet or whatever, there'd be security cameras, but not that in depth where you're seeing inside their bathroom.
So he grabs a car battery and he attaches to Chucky's chest. So I guess this could be like Iron Man, because that's what Iron Man did in the first one, the car battery.
Yep.
That's how he powered himself up the first time. And the car battery wakes Chucky up, and Chucky's looking around, and he can see the camera, and he sees Andy inside of Mike's apartment talking to Mike and Doreen, and he can just hear him just yell, Andy? And like he hears Doreen say, oh, Andy, you my new best friend, when she gets the whole new Castling app set up because of Andy.
And this is when it starts going crazy.
Yes. The whole time, so the dude, the janitor, he opens up, he powers up Chucky, and then he's gonna open him up to see what's wrong with him or whatever. And he says, come on, let's open you up. I don't remember what he said. You remember what he says?
Something. It's like a paraphrase of it's time to open you up and see what's inside. Something shit like that, or something. And basically, that guy, I think his name is Gabe, the janitor, fixes what was wrong with Chucky.
Right, and sinks him to the cloud.
Yep.
Which is the biggest mistake ever.
Yep. And then as the janitor is seeing that Aubrey Plaza is getting nude in the bathtub, he starts to crank it, or it looks like he's going to crank it. And Chucky starts, scuttling around, and
he turns the lights off.
And he's like, Castling lights on. And then it goes off. Castling lights, it just goes back and forth. And then eventually your favorite type of, not kill, what is it? Like a stab.
Well, not really. He didn't get the Achilles.
He got close.
Yeah, it was pretty close, but it was an Achilles. I can deal with a slice to the calves more than Achilles. But yeah, he sliced his calves, and it was still pretty brutal. And for some reason, well, I guess the only table he jumps up on, because he doesn't know where Chucky is, he jumps on a table that has a fucking saw on it. Like, come on. He jumps on a table with a saw. It falls, I believe.
Yeah, and he has to hang on to the pipe.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. First it turns on and then it falls, and then Gabe grabs the pipe. I guess it's like a heating pipe. I don't know. I don't know how pipes. I mean, maybe they're in a boiler room. I don't know how.
Either way, the pipe heats up. It's like 200 degrees, and he has to hold on to it as Chucky is watching, smirking.
Because the reason why it works like that, because since Chucky is now synced to the cloud, he can sync to any Caslin product that he so desires. So imagine
Caslin table saw.
Right. So imagine if an Apple device or an Amazon Echo device, like in our world, and how like everything surrounded us is like can be connected to a smart device. So that's pretty much how much power Chucky has at this point. He's pretty much a fucking god. So Gabe's held on to the pipe, and Chucky turns the temperature up, so it's like burning Gabe's hands, and he's holding on for a pretty good long time.
Yeah, I would not get past like 115.
And then Chucky says, "Let's open you up and see what's inside," while he's turning the temperature up. And then Gabe finally falls, and he falls right into the saw and chops his own leg off.
I think Chucky also stabs him in the chest after he's on the ground. I don't remember.
So, yeah, maybe he was on the ground. Then he said, "Let's cut you open and see what's inside," or "Let's open you up and see what's inside." Then stab him in the chest.
And then one of those swipes on the floor. I'm pretty sure he stabbed him in the dick.
Oh yeah. He sliced his balls. It looked like.
So there goes Gabe, the creepy sex offender.
Oh, he also made him fall with a Roomba. That was pretty weird.
Yeah. So now Chucky, because Gabe ordered a new buddy costume for him, so he could resell him because he has blood on him. Puts on the new costume and puts himself in a box, and now puts himself in front of the kid who's the Tupacs. I can't remember that kid's name. Either way, he put himself in front of the door to give him a buddy doll, and it's what?
His name is fucking Omar.
And he's like, "Yo, come over to Omar's house. He got a buddy doll and it works." And he's like, starts calling it Chode and like saying, "Salute me," and all this stupid, thing a 13-year-old would do. Yeah. And then Andy looks nervous. Fallon's looking at Andy like, "Yeah, I can see why you're nervous." And fucking Pug is loving it. Which also going back like scenes when they found the face of Shane. I love how Pug was puking after he was like
laughing they did that on
so
purpose.
hard at it in the movie. He's like, "What is? There's like some watermelon in here. What did it have to do with fruits?" Like, that was pretty good. That's just going backwards. We don't really need to get into that. And then Chucky now goes up to Andy at Zedmart, and he's like, "Hey, Andy, you want to play?" He's like, "No." And he's like, "Do you want to be my friend?" He's like, "No." He's like, "But you said you'd be forever." And he's like, "What did you just say?" And he says, "Yeah, you said it'd be forever. And if I can have you, no one can." And then he starts showing all of these gruesome things on all of the Zedmart TVs. And Andy looks crazy because when everyone sees him attacking Chucky saying turned off, Omar's like, "Hey, what the fuck? Just because yours was like stupid and defunct does not mean that you could attack mine." And they get into a fist fight. And he knocks off his hearing aid, and then they break it up, and everyone's mad because Pug tries to break it up, and Andy pushes him, and he hits his face, and they're all mad at him now. But he takes Omar's phone because he knows that he could track Chucky with that, and the kids don't believe him. And then eventually, how did they find out to believe Andy? I know that they eventually got the phone from Omar and saw the watching Doreen. Oh, Fallon overhears the police talking in the hallway. And she tells Pug, she's like, yo, what if Andy was right? And they run over to Omar in front of the laundromat or whatever, where Andy throws rocks. And he's like, what? Like, we gonna take my phone just like he did? Because Karen takes it away from Andy after Andy tries to explain that Chucky's evil. Look, I have Omar's phone. I can prove it. She's like, well, nope, you're crazy.
Right.
And
also, she finds out the cat's dead too.
Yeah, because Chucky hangs the collar on the door. And then when Karen's gone, Chucky starts fucking with him on the TV and like through all the electronics in the house. He starts swinging the baseball bat and he destroys the TV. And the mom walks in. She's like, "Oh my God, you're coming with me to work." And as that's happening, they're Pug and Fallon are trying to convince the kids, and they do. They're like, "Look, like what the hell is that?" And they're like, "I guess Andy was right." And they run to Zedmart to try to save him because, while that's happening, Doreen is in the smart car and Chucky's like taking it for a wild ride. Eventually it crashes with her having no seatbelt and she survives. And then Chucky starts playing peekaboo with her. And then I don't know how the hell he got in the car, but he's Chucky. That's how he always is. Like, what the fuck? Just basically was right next to her and attacks her. I didn't like the CGI with that. When he does a CGI like that, I don't like it. But so now Doreen's dead. Mike Norris figures it out. And then someone's like, yo, we found that guy's head from the other day. It was wrapped in his present. He's like, oh my God, it's Andy. So he goes to get Andy wherever he is at the Zedmart. And he starts like, this is also the day of when the Buddy 2 comes out. It's a premiere. Everyone's freaking out. Everyone's so happy. And Andy is literally, yeah. And Andy literally gets handcuffed and chained to something, like a cart or something. I don't know what it was. And then that's exactly when all of them show up. Like, Andy, we believe you now. They have like a chainsaw and a bunch of things. Like, where was the other friends? Like, there was just them three. I guess they didn't have names, but like, whatever. And then he's screaming, no. Like, seriously, Chucky's gonna, like, he's here, blah, blah. And then they're counting down to, I guess, 12 or whatever to when the Buddy 2s come out, and then the lights go out. Or did the lights not go out yet? No, lights didn't go out yet. What happens is the manager from earlier who gave her the doll had to put on this really creepy costume of Chucky, and he comes out like through a curtain. He's like, yay. But then Chucky's inside the head somehow. Okay. And stabs him. And this was fucking funny and cruel. The guy falls down to his knees and is spraying blood. And a girl, like, before he lifts his head, like, you don't know that. And he just sits down. It looks like he's going down to the girl's face to greet her. She's so happy. Just sprays blood straight in her face. So traumatizing. So fucked up. And then
I love how they got it credited on IMDb too as Screaming Little Girl.
Good. And then that's when it all, like, Chucky takes over. And like is on the screen, edits the Castlin guy saying some weird shit, and then Chucky's on the screen. He says, "Time to play" or something.
I don't remember.
And then this is when the whole Chucky takes over everything in the store and starts killing random people. He's got the drones. He's got the new models, which I only saw the bear was alive. I didn't see the other ones come out of the boxes.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, it was mostly the bears.
Maybe because they were loose models already set up.
I guess.
I'm a little disappointed, honestly, with that, because I knew that was a scene that was going to happen. I wanted there to be the black Chucky, the blonde Chucky, all of them. But they start attacking everyone. They cut him loose. Fallon does, after one of the bears tries to attack Andy. Like, Fallon's a badass. Fallon's fucking up all these things, like nothing. And then, like, Andy's like, I'm going to go with her. I'm glad they made like a strong female character. Pug almost gets hit by a drone, and Mike Norris jumps in their way, and he goes run, and you think he's dead, and you're like, oh my damn, Mike Norris.
So the things with the drones, so they're like helicopters, and Chucky put knives on the propellers. Did you think of Puppet Master Louis Reich when that? Yep. The whole time I was dying laughing, and the guy sitting next to me, he was laughing too. But I think we were laughing for different reasons.
I even thought the bathroom scene they were going to pull the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Dick.
Yeah.
So they're going AWOL. Everything's going crazy. And everyone's escaping for the most part. Besides, as they're about to escape from Chucky, he's like, they shows his mom on the screen, like captive. And he's like, well, I'm not leaving my mom. He's like, you have to, Andy. She's like, oh, you're right. And then he shuts the garage door thing on them. He's like, sorry, I got you guys into this. I'm not going to let you guys die. They're like, Andy, no. So Andy goes to fight him with the chainsaw, which I feel like they're like, I feel like there's a lot of Evil Dead things all over this movie.
Oh, I thought they were alluding to the whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, that. And I'm trying to think what it was. Shit. I'm not even going to try to think. I'll get into the Easter eggs in a second. But Andy goes and follows this police car that I think it's weird that he can control that. I always thought it was weird. But you know why they did that?
No.
Orion Pictures, the money they're making from Child's Play, they're making a RoboCop video, film. And the saying he says was, what was it? Dead or alive, you're coming with me, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever RoboCop's phrase is. And I'm like, okay, that's why they did it. I really thought it was weird that it could control a cop, like a toy cop car, but I guess whatever. It follows it, and it leads to a room where, like, there's a bunch of like headless stuffed animals and stuff. I think that was alluding to some past Child's Play stuff. And Aubrey Plaza is tied to a forklift or something. I'm confused.
Yes, I don't know what it was.
She's about to be hung.
Yeah.
And
also, did you get the foreshadowing of her going to be hung?
Oh, when she does the motion when she first buys Chucky. Yeah, when she first buys Chucky, she feels like it's disappointing to him, so she's like, a funny guy, does the, with the.
I hate that I've seen so many horror movies, because when she did that gesture, I'm thinking, oh, well, I guess she's going to get hung at the end.
Oh, I guess you didn't see enough trailers, because that was like in it. But
I see the trailer, yeah. I avoid everything.
Well, that's why you think you're going to hate everything. But anyway, no. What?
I like to be surprised. Okay. I like to go in with low expectations so I can not be let down.
Fair enough. So this is the climax of the scene, which I think is my least favorite part. Chucky starts talking through like a random doll on the shelf, and Aubrey Plaza, Karen, is like moving her eyes like, no, that's not him, because he can control dolls now and control everything. And he goes to go get his mom, and I can't remember what stops him. Where does Chucky come from? I know they get into like a fight on the ground.
Oh, he came out of nowhere with a knife.
He just popped out from one of the shelves in the warehouse. He starts tacking, and then he gets on top of Andy and says, I guess it's time to open you up, or something like that. And then Andy hits him with the police car, which for some reason works. And then annoyed me because she thinks that Chucky's malfunctioning after that. And I'm like, horror movies, stop. Like, you got to make sure it's dead. And he's walking towards his mom, like, and then it attacks him again. And then he gets it off him again. And then he has to climb, because his mom's being hung. He has to climb up the warehouse thing and cut the noose with the chainsaw, but the chainsaw stops. And she's still hanging. And Chucky then jumps from boxing, is on top of him while they're both, I thought she was dead. I thought they hung her.
Oh, yeah, the way she was, yeah.
Oh, man, I was like, because the pressure of Andy jumping on and Chucky, the way she went limp, I'm like, fuck. And then eventually he knocks Chucky, I think, down and takes a knife and, he just takes a knife and cuts it, and they all fall down. And for some reason, he goes over to his mom, tries to save her, and then Chucky jumps, and then Mike Norris shoots him, and he says, this is the end.
I was waiting for him to say friend.
Nah.
You know what? I'm glad.
It's corny. That is...
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do it, but I was like, ooh.
That is a reference to the original Child's Play when Andy throws the match in the fire and lights Chucky on fire. And
this is the end, friend.
Yo, man, classic line. And he shoots him, and then they all like, yay, he's dead. And then actually at first Aubrey's like, don't fuck with my son, and rips off his head.
Yeah.
The very anticlimactic kill. I mean, it's a robot. I get it. He's not Chucky. He can't be a human, keep coming back. But damn, I don't know. I'm glad that both of them are still alive, Mike Norris and Karen. And the movie basically ends, but it's with the Caslin guy saying, we don't take responsibility for this, but we are recalling all the Buddy 2s because they think it was the Buddy 2s that was the problem.
Right.
And then they're showing a warehouse where they still have all the buddies and the red eyes flash.
Yep.
Now, there's two theories behind this. Which one do you think it is?
I mean, I don't know any of the theories, but I feel like how can you kill Chucky if he's in the cloud? Like, he can just jump to each buddy doll. Like,
yep. But here's a more interesting theory. That's what most people are going with. Another theory I heard, which I like, that original Chucky doll sitting on the shelf was him, and he was controlling that Chucky doll that jumped on him.
Yeah, I also thought that's what I first thought when I saw this movie. But now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like how can you kill somebody that's like in the cloud? That's like the whole Ultron thing in Avengers 2.
Yes. Again, that's another thing that I think is a very Ultron's eyes go red when he's bad because he's not supposed to be initially bad. His eyes are blue. I feel like there's a lot of Marvel and stuff.
I mean, they do that with everything.
It's robots. I would like to think that it was him sitting on the shelf idly tricking him and just sends another buddy one.
Yeah, that's what I originally thought.
I hope it is. Like yours makes the most sense, but man, I would like that better because he is supposed to protect his owner. He doesn't want to kill his owner, so he sent a minion to go do it. So. Maybe. I
like the whole idea of it being a cloud thing so that Chucky can never die and we can just keep getting movies like this.
I didn't think I wanted a sequel out of this. I do. Obviously, I think we're both agreeing it's spooky. We praised it, which I'm very surprised you gave it that. I thought this was going to be a fight. Oh, actually, worst case scenario, I thought we both were going to dislike it, but I was going to be screaming like a puppet master. Not puppet master, strangers. A lot of things I liked about this. The lighting was perfect. I love the mood, the lighting, the score.
This movie also, this movie has balls. That just gave me really bad PTSD, that line. But anyways, this movie, like, I didn't think it was going to kill Doreen. Because, like, when she was getting ready to go to bingo, I'm just like, man, I really hope they have the balls to kill off Doreen. If they do, this movie's great. And they did it. Because, for some reason, like, sassy older black women are immune in horror movies. So they killed her off, and I was just like, wow.
There wasn't too many kills, and there's not as much gore as I thought. And I wish they would have showed more of the dolls in the store attacking people. You saw the bear attacking a random person. You saw someone get dragged away. But it reminded me of Small Soldiers and Gremlins put together, which are two of my favorite movies.
I've never seen Gremlins.
Well, you would like it. So Small Soldiers basically is the AI thing before anything, with the computer chip going into the military ship going into the soldier toys, and they go artificial intelligence. So it was a weird move going with that for Chucky. The thing is that I like this movie. A lot of people like this movie. I'm surprised the reviews are good. I read a whole Reddit forum and everyone was praising it. I'm like, wow. I expected to be the only guy somehow liking this. Like, I thought the best case scenario, I would give it a 6. I definitely think it's at least a 7.5 to an 8. And I thought like I was going to be in the unpopular opinion. I was going to get shit on, but people are like, wow, I'm so surprised this movie was everyone's saying it was fun. It was.
It was very fun.
And it's funny at some parts, like when he's trying to scare Shane, he's like, okay, make a scary face. And he starts making all those weird faces, trying to make a scary face. The animatronics was great. I did not like the CGI at all. And the face of Chucky was ugly, but that's just nitpicking.
This movie was fun, but do you find this new Chucky intimidating?
It was not scary at all.
Okay.
I'm if you watch the podcast before, know anything about me, until like age 18, I was terrified of Chucky, could not walk into Spencer's. I still actually have nightmares about him all the time, but I enjoy them now. It's like a horror movie. But I'm obsessed with Chucky because I was scared of him so much as a child. And what I also wish they did more is the POV shots, because that's what I loved in the
first. Yeah. When they showed the whole him getting that digging machine at the watermelon patch, I automatically thought the first one because he was like doing a whole POV shot.
But they didn't do a lot of it. You know, they made this their own, which is great, and especially because they only had 9 months to write this, to put this together, which is immaculate. People need to understand, because they don't know about that. They don't know how much this is rushed. This is a great movie for being rushed. If they had a bigger budget and they kind of did a little better on his face, I would really, really stand this movie pretty hard. Thing is, this shouldn't be a Child's Play movie. This, and a lot of people agree with me, it feels like a Black Mirror episode, and they could have done this without putting the Chucky brand on it. Why does this need to? This doesn't need to be Chucky. This could have been a movie named Billy or some shit, and I still would have liked it.
I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much if it wasn't Chucky.
But I don't think he came off that, because they made him sympathetic and you feel bad for him. His character, it's great that they did that, but at the same time, he's not scary. The thing about about Chucky, he's so unsettling and vicious, and his voice. Mark Hamill did the best he could, and he did great. And he does sound like a toy, but no one could touch Dorf, obviously. And just because he's a man in the doll's body, the grunt, the aggression is.
His voice is so rough.
It's scary. It's bloodthirsty. It's vicious. They didn't really have too many vicious scenes of Chucky, like, with people. There was that one when he jumps on Andy's back and he looks a little creepy, but that's about it. And he doesn't, I wasn't intimidated or scared of him. And I know it's like, listen, I'm older. I'm not going to be scared of this. But, like, no, if a doll is creeping around the house, I'm going to be creeped out by it. But because it was like a robot and it was a little too friendly, just kind of looked odd. I was like, okay, that's a little off-putting. But he's kind of, like, cute, but he's also ugly. It's a very confusing taste in my mouth after this. I just don't feel like it had to be Chucky. I think this could have been its own thing.
I don't think it would have done as well. I don't think it would have put. Right, so they needed Chucky.
Yeah, of course they did, and it just sucks now because it's doing well, surprisingly, even going against Toy Story. So it's going to get a second one. Just, I don't know if I want to have two ongoing Child's Plays. Yeah. I know they haven't been doing well, but Mancini and Dorff are the go-tos. That personality, you can't touch that Chucky personality. I know you can't compare these two movies because they're so different. You're just basically taking a doll and naming it Chucky and doing two different things. That's why I think it could have been a different movie. Even, like I said, the way he named himself was weird. He's not Chucky. He's fucking Han Solo. That's what he was supposed to be. And
I wish they would have, like, alluded to, like, the first family he went to, like the kid named him Chucky or something.
Yeah.
Something.
I don't think they actually got, if I have a speculation, I don't think they actually got him on this. So it was red, wanted to return it because they realized that the Buddy 2 was coming out and they wanted it. Who knows?
Yeah. I guess it's a small nitpick. It's whatever.
The score was really cool. They didn't use a lot of it because I heard a lot of the score, like, separately. They used a lot of children's toys and baby noises in it.
Oh my God, I loved it.
The lighting, the scenery. Like, I'm just so surprised. Chucky movies don't really they get between a $9 to $12 million budget when they were theatrical. So I'm guessing it's not. And Orion is one of the ones that put out the smaller cash grabbing movies. So I don't think it had that much more. So maybe if it had a bigger budget, we could have even had a greater movie. Because I think I'm glad they used mostly animatronics, but when he was CGI, it just looks so bad. But that you can't win them all. But I was in the theater, like, choked up, actually happy for once in my life, a depressed human, because I waited so long for this, and I thought this was going to be a shit show, and I enjoyed it. Like, that was an enjoyable movie. It had comedy. It didn't really have horror suspense that much. It really felt like if there was no gore or cursing, this could have been PG-13. Like, it could have been like a Black Mirror episode or a Goose, like you're saying, which I like things like that. I like Black Mirror. I like
it felt very tongue in cheek, and I loved it for being.
It's very self-referential what it is.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like, it had to be. They could never recreate the original Child's Play. They couldn't. If they went for the whole scary vibe, everyone's just going to be like, well, this isn't the Chucky we know. I don't really care. Because they did something different, it's going to have some different appeal to different people. The people who didn't grow up on Chucky, who are casual horror fans that go to this, are going to have a really good time. I felt like I watched everyone leave that theater smiling.
Man, I had a couple of people in my theater complaining. I'm just like...
But what were the complaints?
that it wasn't scary. And I'm just like,
well, it's not.
It's fun.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody said,
it was more of an 80s B movie, or like I said, like a Gremlins or Small Soldiers thing, where it's not supposed to be necessarily scary, but it's creepy.
And one person's complaint, I'll give him that. He said that. Wait, no, I don't. He said that he hated the beginning part, but he liked the end. And I don't know. The beginning part was the best part of the movie to me. Just seeing it.
The end was the worst part to me.
You're right. Yeah. Exactly.
I just thought there was going to be way more of a crescendo. The thing is, this movie was so short. So I guess, maybe they had more. They took stuff out in the reshoots. I don't know. But that was good.
And it was very refreshing because I guess by the time this video goes out, the reviewers' embargo on Annabelle 3 will be lifted. So it's safe for me to say this. I just went to the advanced screening the day before I saw Child's Play, and that movie was awful. So this movie, Child's Play, was very refreshing, and I'm glad I saw it after Annabelle. I'm glad that it wasn't bad, because I think I would have just quit this podcast if I just seen two very terrible movies in theaters back to back.
Yeah, you tweeted that you would start a dating podcast for incels.
Yeah, it was going to be called Nice Guys Never Finish Podcast.
I didn't understand that tweet.
You know how they say nice guys finish last?
Yes, yeah, now I do. Okay. Well, this was Child's Play 2019. I think I waited all freaking year for. I don't know what to live for anymore. Maybe Midsummer. That's going to be kind of cool. Whatever.
3 weeks in a row, man. Child's Play.
And I have to go. You said that Annabelle's bad, and I have to go see it. So we're going to have more podcasts. This has been the Spooky Dooky Podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Derek.
Stay spooky.
Dooky.